See, there are multiple factors that contribute to suicide rates: academic pressure, cyberbullying, bullying in general, whether it is in school, colleges, then unhealthy family environment, relationship conflicts. All these things contribute to the high rate of suicidal that's happening in a young generation. Apart from that, their low self confidence, certain personality traits, and mental health issues like anxiety and depression. So, a lot of behavioral change that you can see in the form of withdrawal from friends and family. Then academics are being affected. Lack of appetite, sleep issues, irritability, things giving away your things. Then meeting friends and family at a much higher rate than as usual. All can contribute or can be signs and symptoms of suicide. See, not always, but then definitely it is one of the major factor that contribute to suicide. Apart from that, as I've told you, unhealthy family atmosphere, lack of communication gaps, sibling comparison that happens in the family, then emotionally unavailable parents. All these things contribute to suicide. Apart from that, in the schools, if we talk about, there's a lot of labeling, academic pressure, then bullying that happens among the children. That's also a contributing factor, in addition to the teachers when they compare the two siblings. It is something, if the family environment is unhealthy, it can contribute to high level of chances to the suicide. Lack of communication, as I've mentioned, there is lack of protectiveness, lack of protective factors in the family can contribute to the suicide. See, schools can introduce a lot of mental health programs, then also reducing the stigma towards going to a mental health professional, basically normalizing the entire atmosphere, then hiring a certified counselor or a clinical psychologist in the school, so who can take care of the children, reducing and stopping labeling of students that usually happens in among the teachers. One child from the same family is very intelligent and another one is not able to, so there's always a pressure that, okay, that person, bhai to bahut acha tha, this person is not able to do. So there's always a baggage that is being carried out that has to be taken care. We need to understand that every human being, every child has a different potential. We need to respect that potential and work according to that potential for that particular child. Take the signs very seriously. First of all, you need to understand that it is not that something they're doing for attention. They need help. So just give time to them. Just be a listening ears to them. Listen to them without judgment, without giving lectures, and at the earliest contact the mental health professional. Definitely, yes, it is right to ask a person about it, because that's the biggest myth, that people feel that talking about a suicide is going to, put ideas into their mind, which is not okay. Rather, they will feel that if they are being asked for a help, and the help can be given to them. Suicide people just need attention, which is wrong. People who commit suicide, they are weak. It has nothing to do with you're strong or weak, how physically you're strong or weak. It is just lack of coping mechanism, and that needs to be addressed. So strengthening mental health services, as I mentioned earlier, then reducing the academic pressure, encouraging emotional regulation among the students, promoting resilience and healthy coping mechanisms, creating the safe digital environments, and crisis helplines and youth friendly therapy access needs to be given. You are not alone, your pain is real. So reach out to a friend, to a person whom you trust, and to a mental health professional. Always understand that asking for a help is a sign of strength, not a weakness. We are there for you. You're not struggling alone.